This is the Giants Postcast, your instant game reaction for the San Francisco Giants, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Yo, what's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Locked On Giants Postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E. Engel. You may know me as the former producer for the Murph and Mac Morning Show on KMBR, or maybe from some of these other Locked On Sports postcasts we do. We also do the Locked On Warriors and Locked On 49ers postgame shows as well. But today, the Giants, can this team get any more frustrating? They are free falling right now after yet another loss to the Chicago White Sox, at falling 5-2 at Rate Field. Justin Verlander was pretty damn good today, and he was in line for the win, his first of the season, when he turned the game over to the bullpen. But Bob Melvin decided to go with Ryan Walker with multiple runners on base in the seventh inning instead of Randy Rodriguez, who had been the go-to option in those situations all season long. The decision was costly as the Giants trailed 5-2 by the time Ryan Walker was able to get the one out in the seventh inning that he was brought in to get. Meanwhile, the Giants offense was horrendous. Again, stop me if you've heard this before, in key situations, going just 2 for 11 with runners in scoring position. We'll break all of this garbage down. But first, I want to thank all of you for watching us on the Locked On Giants YouTube channel. Please, if you aren't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. Thanks also for listening on the Locked On Giants podcast feed. However you're tuning in, we appreciate it. And make sure to check out the Locked On Giants Daily Show for more in-depth coverage. My guy, Ben Kaspick, always does a great job. And this, I mean, every time that I think this Giants team can't reach a new low this season, they prove me wrong in the worst way possible. This, I mean, we took a couple days off from the last two shows. We didn't do a show yesterday, didn't do a show Friday. Had some family obligations yesterday. Went to Earth, Wind, and Fire yesterday, or Friday night. Had a great time out at the Greek Theater. And the Giants, I'm just trying to have myself a good weekend, man. And the Giants just don't want any of us to have that, apparently. This is, I don't even have words for how awful this feels. This team had given us so much hope earlier in this season. The trade for Rafi Devers, we didn't even care that the Giants ended up losing that series to the Dodgers. It feels like an eternity ago that this team was tied for first place in the National League West. It wasn't really that long ago. Giants have played about 2 weeks worth of games since then. And in those couple weeks, they're 4-10. 4-10 against the Guardians, the Red Sox, the White Sox, and the Marlins. That's pathetic. I mean, half of their wins came against the Red Sox. You're telling me you can't find more than 2 wins in 3 different series against 3 teams that are all under 500. One of the teams is the second worst team in all of the sport right now. This is pathetic. This is absolutely garbage baseball to watch. In those 14 games, they're batting .213 as a team. With runners in scoring position, they're 17 for their last 104. 17 for their last 104. That's good enough for a 163 batting average. I am willing to bet money that we could find some people in the stands at Oracle Park that could do a better job than that. And I'm not even exaggerating at this point. This is awful. This is pathetic. This is not like, this is a joke of a team right now. This is a joke of an effort. And they're now 7 games back from the Dodgers. Thankfully, the Padres got walked off today, so they're still only a half game back of the Padres. They're 1.5 out of the wild card now at this point. So the season's not totally lost. You cannot completely abandon ship yet. It's not. The Titanic hasn't sunk, but they're all sitting on the deck, and it feels like we're just kind of rearranging deck chairs right now. Are the Giants going to get in a life raft and figure out a better path forward for next season? Or are they going to go down with the ship? Are they just going to let Bob Melvin tank this team? And I have never been a guy to sit here and call for someone's job. I think that's not people do that way too quick nowadays. I mean, especially in baseball, you get a slow start and people just start to immediately want to fire your manager, fire your hitting coach. And I am usually not that type of guy. After watching what the Giants have done since that Dodgers series, I'm not going to say Bob Melvin needs to be fired right now, but if this continues, he cannot come back next season. There is no way that you can make this team go to battle underneath this guy that they clearly do not. I mean, how does Bob Melvin get this team ready to fight? I mean, they look uninspired. They look like he's probably talking and it's just going in one ear and out the next. How do you listen to anything this guy has to say when time after time after time he makes the wrong decision to put this team in a bigger hole than they've already dug for themselves? I cannot for the life of me understand why Bob Melvin chose to put in Ryan Walker instead of Randy Rodriguez in this situation today. Randy Rodriguez didn't pitch yesterday. He pitched on Friday through 19 pitches. He didn't pitch on Thursday. He's had basically he's thrown one out of their last 3 games. You're telling me this guy isn't ready to go in that situation? I mean, I know Tyler Rogers probably wasn't available because he pitched Friday and Saturday, the prior 2 games in this series. But with runners on base in that situation, how the hell do you turn to Ryan Walker? I mean, let's just get right into that situation because that is obviously today's turning point of the game.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
And Eric Miller came in and he did an all right job. He did give up 2 singles, didn't let any runs score, gets 2 outs. And I thought the Miller should have either stayed in to get out of that inning, considering that it's been damn near a month since the guy's had an earned run charged to him, or you should go to, obviously, Randy Rodriguez, the guy who has just been a masterful performer in these situations, in these clutch moments with runners on base. Instead, Bob Melvin goes to the guy who has been the worst reliever on this Giants staff in these clutch moments, Ryan Walker, who time and time again this year has let the Giants down. And he comes in with those 2 outs. All dude's got to do is get 1 out in this situation. Instead, he walks Vargas, loads the bases. Then the rookie catcher, Teal, doubles to score 2 runs. And maybe they could have scored a third on that play, but they were playing it a little safe. And that run ended up scoring a little bit later for them anyways. Took the lead 3-2 on that double. And then Ryan Walker balks. This guy, I mean, I know the mound's wet. I know that it's sloppy conditions out there. Did anybody else have a balk today? Nope, just Ryan Walker. This is inexcusable. Looked like he might have slipped on that wet mound. It did look a little choppy out there, but there is 0 excuses in that situation for that to happen. You cannot let that happen. Do anything but that in that situation. That run from third just walks in for free. 4-2 now, White Sox lead. Then he gives up yet another hit, gives up a single to Sosa, and another run scores. 5-2, White Sox lead after the bottom of the 7th. And that was compounded even further by what had just happened in the top of the 5th inning, just a few innings prior, when the Giants had loaded the bases with 1 out. Willy Adames walks, scores a run, gives the Giants a 2-1 lead. And you're thinking, maybe Jung-Hoo Lee can finally do something for this team, because I have given this guy so much leash on just hoping and praying that this guy works out for the Giants, because I like him. I like the way he plays defense. I like his vibe. I like that the way he profiles as a contact hitter who goes gap to gap and has speed and can steal bases. That all sounds great. But he has been pretty bad lately, and today it continued in this situation. Bases loaded. You have to do anything besides a weak little pop out in the infield. And what do we get from Jung-Hoo Lee? A weak little pop out in the infield. Christian Koss then comes up and he smoked a line drive to short with an expected batting average on that hit of over 700, but shortstop makes a nice play, catches it. Giants don't score. They score the 1 run that was gifted to them. Don't come up with a hit in this situation again. And this has just been just the way that things have gone for the Giants. I mean, there's nothing new about this game that we haven't seen before. 2 for 11 with runners in scoring position, 11 men left on base, grounded into double plays, 3 of them today, including 1 to end the game. This is just what we've seen from the Giants so far this season offensively. This is just how it's going to be going until they figure something out. And it seems like you need a new voice in the room. Obviously, you're probably going to get rid of your hitting coach before you get rid of your manager. It's a much easier move to make in season. And at this point, I hate calling for people's jobs. It's not the kind of guy that I am, it's not really what I want to do. I don't want to be the guy who comes on here and just screams a hot take that I don't really believe in or anything like that, or just to get some views. But I really do think that at this point, you got to consider getting rid of Pat Burrell. I know Buster Posey went out of his way during the Rafael Devers presser, introductory presser, to kind of back Pat Burrell and say, he's our guy. We're going to go with him for the rest of the season, and I believe in him. And I get that. Former teammates, Buster has obviously been around Pat Burrell a lot in his career, but the proof is in the pudding, man. And the proof is that the Giants aren't very good. I mean, we have seen this over and over and over again. And it's not like they don't have the horses. You got Ramos, you got Devers, you got Flores, who's been having a hell of a year, maybe has regressed a little bit from where he was at the beginning of the season. Willie Adames, Jung-Woo Lee. I mean, all these different guys. Like, yeah, Matt Chapman's hurt right now. That cannot be an excuse for what this team is doing. This is pathetic. This is awful. This is garbage to watch. And this is, I don't even recognize this team from the one that I saw at the beginning of the season that was beaten up on the Yankees. I don't recognize this team that was going toe-to-toe with the Dodgers not that long ago without Rafael Devers. I do not understand what the hell I'm watching from this Giants team right now. Got more to get into today. A couple bright spots from today, believe it or not. Christian Koss had a couple nice moments. Pat Bailey giving us a little bit of something offensively. That's the second game in this series that he's delivered at the plate. Is he coming back? And also, we had a very highly touted prospect make their big league debut today. We're going to get into that and more, definitely and more, on the other side of the Locked On Giants postcast. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. Summer sports are in full swing. Whether you're all about baseball under the lights, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer action, FanDuel is the best way to make every game more exciting. You're already following the action. Why not make it a little more thrilling? Because you know the Giants aren't going to make it very thrilling at the plate. With FanDuel, you can get in on the game with your friends and get sunburned at the beach while you're getting sunburned at the beach. And I mean, today, if there's any more proof that you need to kind of maybe start hedging some of your Giants fandom with some bets, maybe going the other way, like maybe taking some of these other teams that the Giants are playing on the money line, maybe taking the Giants over on the strikeouts, because you know that they're going to hit those as of late. I mean, today, 11 strikeouts for the Giants. I hate to say it, but I kind of like going and finding the opposing pitcher and betting the over on the strikeouts lately. It's been very, very profitable for me, and it probably will be for you too, as long as the Giants continue to play the garbage brand of baseball that they've been playing. And if you're new to FanDuel, it's a great time for you, because new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com to get started. Welcome back to the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel, and today, this might be the most frustrating point of the Giants season. I said this after getting swept by the Marlins, and I expected them to kind of bounce back against the White Sox, and I can't believe I expected them to do that. Based on the way this Giants team has been playing, I think I just got to be, I am a glass half full kind of guy. I'm an optimist in general in life. This Giants team is sucking the optimism right out of my body. I do not have any positivity left for the Giants. I mean, it was nice to see Christian Koss and Pat Bailey do some things at the plate lately. Christian Koss has been having a lot of multi-hit games, does so yet again today. He was on base 3 times in this one, so that's solid. You like that. His batting average is up to 266. Pat Bailey, almost up to 200 with that batting average. It has been a season-long struggle for Patty Barrels, but today gets a hit, gets an RBI. He had a hit, 2 RBI hit in Friday's game as well. So Pat Bailey may be starting to come around, but still 2 strikeouts for Patty Barrels. And the Giants obviously need a little more than just 1 or 2 hits in clutch situations, the way things have been going lately. When Verlander was on the mound, he looked great too. He only gave up 5 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. He did hit a guy as well. Over 6 innings of that he pitched out there and battled through some mucky conditions. Curveball looked pretty good today. He only gave up 1 hit off that curveball. He gave up 2 hits off that 4-seamer, 1 hit off the slider, and 1 hit off the changeup. The only extra base hit came off of his 4-seam fastball today. And Verlander, this was one of the better starts that we've seen from him. He has not been very good. He's been giving up a lot of hard contact as of late. Today, not a ton of hard contact for Verlander. 88.8 average exit velo. He had a couple hard shots that he gave up, but overall, not that bad. The curveball was, I thought, pretty solid today. He was locating it really well, didn't have any swings and misses on it, but he was getting a lot of weak contact, a lot of ground balls. The hardest hit ball off that curveball, just 95 miles an hour. Average exit velo off that curveball, 82.5. So he was using it very effectively today. He was using most of his pitches pretty effectively today. He only needed 88 of them to get through those 6 innings of work. And Verlander, I mean, he did get 11 flyouts today. So, I mean, a lot of balls in the air for Verlander, but a lot of them really, really softly hit, really weakly hit, or balls that just died in the outfield. So overall, I liked what I saw from Verlander. And as I said earlier, when he exited this one, he was in line for the win. And then came disaster in the form of Bob Melvin deciding to go with Ryan Walker in that situation. And I have no idea why. And that's what you're going to be talking about after this one.
This is what you'll be talking about.
What you'll be talking about is that, I mean, I within the 5 minutes after this game ended, before this game even ended, really, I'm seeing an explosion of people on social media just clamoring for Bob Melvin to just be excommunicated, like exiled entirely, sent to an island in the middle of the Pacific with no, just maroon him out there, no ship to get back, no way home, just leave him out there. That's the sentiment that I'm seeing from Giants fans right now, is they want Bob Melvin jettisoned to some godforsaken island in the middle of the ocean, that he should just be nowhere near this team going forward. And I can't blame them for that sentiment. Well, I am a little going to pump the brakes on that just slightly, because I don't think that it's going to do this team any good to fire your manager at this point in the season. I don't think that's going to make them start winning any ball games. I don't think that's going to help with the team continuity. I don't think that that's going to improve much of anything. I do think the Giants need a new voice in the room when it comes to their hitting coach. Pat Burrell, I love the guy. He was a great Giant. I've had a good working relationship with him in sports media. Like, I used to book this guy all the time for the Murph and Mac show on KMBR. It's time for him to go. It's not working. It's clearly not working. And they need a better approach at the plate. It doesn't look like they have a good plan coming up there. And it doesn't look like they're really making adjustments game to game. And that falls on the coaching staff. That falls on the manager, on Bob Melvin. But he's not going to be the first one to go. He's going to have a scapegoat go first, and that guy is probably going to be Pat Burrell. Bob Melvin, if things continue to go the way they are, sure, I'll jump on that bandwagon too, of calling for Bob Melvin to be sent out of San Francisco, because this can't continue. And it starts from the top down. And it's hard not to draw parallels between this Giants team that has all these tools, all these pieces, all these parts, and the underachieving Padres teams that Bob Melvin managed and unsuccessfully managed with all of those parts, all of those all-stars, and they couldn't get it going. And it feels very similar. Now, there's no, Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado type guys on this roster. There's some great players on this roster, but you don't have like that top-end star power, maybe save for Rafael Devers. And Bob Melvin still underachieving in the same way. This team, I think, well-roundedness is a little bit better than that Padres team was. The pitching on this Giants team is much more complete. The bullpen is very, very good as well. Or, I mean, most of the time when Ryan Walker is not coming in those key situations. But ultimately, Bob Melvin is the common denominator between these two situations. You got to start, if you're Buster Posey, you got to start considering having those hard conversations. The seat has got to be burning hot for Bob Melvin. I need this guy to feel the pressure so that he goes out there and tries something new, so that he goes out there and gives this team a little bit of life. For the love of God, change something, change anything, because what you're doing right now does not work, clearly, and the Giants need to adapt. Before we get on out of here, we got to get you today's player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
And just for fun, because I don't really want to give this to anybody. I feel like Verlander maybe could have earned it, but I don't really want to give it to anybody on this Giants team that played a part in today's loss. And Verlander did have a pretty solid day, so he has a strong case for it. But there was a pretty fun story today. Carson Seymour makes his major league debut, gets a scoreless inning out there. So we're going to give today's player of the game to Carson Seymour. And this, I do think, is a good move for the Giants to bring this guy up. Optioning Sean Jelly down was going to happen eventually one way or another, I think, based on the MLB investigation into his personal life that we talked about last week sometime. But you had to find another option to go within the bullpen. And Carson Seymour, you send out one giant and you might as well get another. Sean Jelly, we know, is that super towering tallness that he's got on the mound. Carson Seymour is a big guy too. Man, this guy's 6'6", 255. This guy's got like LeBron James type build to him, I guess. He's 26 years old. He looks just like, super muscular out there. He's got a great sinker, man. The movement on that looks very difficult to pick up. In this season, down in the PCL, which is very, very, very difficult to pitch in with those small, tiny ballparks and a lot of really good hitters in the league, he had an ERA of 3.89, pretty solid. 83 strikeouts and 74 innings pitched this year in AAA. So he's been profiling really well. We had to get one of the Carsons up here, Carson Seymour or Carson Whisenhunt. Carson Seymour makes his first action prior to Carson Whisenhunt with the Giants. And he had his family out there, mom, dad, sister, and wife. All that was great. He had a nice, fun, warm-hearted inning. But at the same time, it was very lackluster because you knew that the Giants were going to lose this game. There was nothing that Carson Seymour could have done to help out this team. He did give up a couple hits, but I thought he overall pitched pretty well. He was locating that sinker very, very effectively. And that pitch, the movement on that is absolutely gnarly. The way that it bites down and has arm side run is going to be really difficult for hitters to pick up. And I'm excited to see what this guy can do. He's obviously, like I said, a very imposing presence on the mound. And I think he's going to hopefully give the Giants a little bit of life in this bullpen. I would have liked to see Carson Seymour in that situation instead of Ryan Walker. And that sounds crazy to say, but I trust a guy that I have not seen pitch in the major leagues ever. I trust a guy making his major league debut more than I trust Ryan Walker in a clutch situation right now. So for the love of God, this Giants team needs to do something going forward. This was supposed to be the easier part of the schedule, and they're just wasting it. 1-5 against the Marlins and the White Sox. Just absolutely inexcusable. Next up, 4-game series against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Let's see if the Giants can finally win some games. You got the A's after that. So, and then it starts to get harder as you play the Phillies and the Dodgers. So this, quote, easy part of the schedule has been really rough on the Giants, and they're going to need to find a way to start winning some of these games. The road trip rolls on. You got 7 more games on the road, another week with no days off. So no rest coming soon. Giants got to figure it out. Things are bad. Feels pretty bad, man. Feels pretty bad. It's all the time that we got for you guys today here on the Locked On Giants Postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. We'll see you next time. Peace.